Good morning, children. Now, continuing with the chapter 1 Python Revision 2, we were talking about tokens in Python, where we learned that what are tokens and the types of tokens. For that, we learned that KEYLOP is the short word to remember keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and punctuators. Therein, we also saw the for loop along with the if, where we saw the examples of keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and punctuators. I hope you understand that. Now, continuing with the elements individually, the first token is keywords. What is the definition of keywords? These are words having special meaning reserved by programming language. Now, the meaning itself says key. Key is some special meaning given to certain words. Now, every programming language has certain keywords which are having fixed meaning, whose meaning cannot be changed. Meaning cannot be changed means these words have specific work assigned to them, and the programmer cannot violate the working of such keywords. Now, for example, such keywords are, I have taken some keywords which we have already seen. First is true. Now, true and false and none. These three are very important. You can see that the first letter T, F, and N are in capital. These letters, these keywords are special where the first letter is in capital. So you have to keep this in mind whenever you are typing true, false, or none. The first letters must be in capital, otherwise it will not work as properly it should do. Then the next examples are if, else, elif, for, in, while, break, continue, def. Def we have seen in we have to see this year in the functions chapter. Then return, and, or, not, import also we have seen, and that importing math file we should write import math. Okay. Then is, try, except, class, del, global. These are some of the keywords that we have already used or we are going to use them in near future. Now, the next keyword, after keyword, the next token is identifiers. What are identifiers? These are the names given to different parts of the program, such as variables, objects, classes, functions, lists, dictionaries, etc. These are special words which are given by the programmer. These are the names given to the variables that the programmer are going to use in the program. Now, there is a special note given for you. It says these names are given by programmers, hence must follow certain naming rules. Obviously, because the programmer is going to use them as their program part, so we have to follow certain rules. These rules may be different for different languages. Now, for Python, we have to see here. The first rule says that it must start with a letter or underscore. You understand underscore? Yes, you can see the symbol here, underscore. Then the second rule is it must not be keywords. Obviously, the keywords that we have seen in here, see these keywords, some more are also there. These cannot be used as identifier names. Okay. Then the third rule is identifiers can be a combination of letters, numbers, and underscores. You can have a combination of letters, numbers, and underscore. Obviously, no special character except underscore is allowed. I hope all these rules are very much clear. So we will have a small exercise where we will see that which are valid and invalid identifiers. You can pause the video for 1 minute and try yourself. I hope, children, that you have identified the valid and invalid identifiers. Let's see the correct answers. Now, the first is my file. You see the four conditions we will see. It is starting with capital M, that is a letter, and there is no special character, so it is a valid. So this is a valid identifier. Then the next is, you can see it is starting with a number, which is not valid, because we have seen that the valid identifier must start with a letter or underscore, so it is invalid. Next is again my file, but here the my file is written all in capital, so this and this my file is different, though it is starting with capital M, but the rest of the letters are in small, so it will be different for the Python interpreter. Now because it is starting with a letter, it is valid. Next is Z2TQ Z9. It is a combination of letters and numbers, and it is starting with a letter, so again valid. Similarly here, now this is also my file, but it says my dot file, where it is starting with my M, capital M, but this dot is a special character, so it is not allowed, so it is invalid. Now again this underscore ds, underscore is a valid to start with underscore, so this is valid. Then my space file, it is invalid because space is a invalid character which cannot be used in identifiers. Now break, we have seen here, see, break is a keyword, and keywords cannot be used as identifier names, so it is invalid. I hope this is very much clear. Now we will be continuing with the next token. Okay, now the next token is literals. So literals, these are data items that have fixed or constant value. What does that mean? These are the values which cannot be changed during the program run. That doesn't mean that it is constant for the memory. Constant means that if it is 1, it will remain 1. If it is 10 or 100, the values that are having their phase values are constant. Okay, now the types of literals in Python are, first of all we will see the first literal, that is string literal. What are string literals? It is a sequence of characters surrounded by quotes. Which type of quotes? Single quotes, double quotes and triple quotes. All the three types of quotes are allowed. The sequence of characters means every character which is available on your keyboard is a character. Okay, so types of string literals are single line strings and multi-line strings. Now what are single line strings? These terminates in one line. Obviously single means in one line the string will end. Now if you have a stanza, para, so these literals can be terminate using multiple lines. Now how to write single line strings are, this is a single line string. This is a single line string. It is ending in one line and it is surrounded by double quotes. It can be written in single quotes also, triple quotes also. Okay, now the second example is of multi-line string, where we have written the hello world within double quotes, but to make it a multi-line we have used a backslash. Okay, this is a backslash which will help to represent this text to in multi-line form. Now this multi-line can also be written using triple quotes. See here, this example is given where backslash is not required. These two methods are used for multi-line strings. Okay. Now here we will talk about a little on escape sequences. These are also part of string. You can go through the page number 3 of chapter 1. These are non-graphic characters presented by backslash. Anything which is preceded by backslash is a escape sequence. Okay, this will not be printed. Non-graphic means this will not be printed on the screen. Okay, now we will continue with next literal. First literal was a type of literal was string. Now next is numeric literal. Now what are numeric literals? As the name suggests, numeric values that are stored, that are constants, are known as numeric values. These are again have different types. Number one is your integer type. These are positive or negative whole numbers. Anything which is preceded by minus or plus sign are integers. Integer literals can be written in following form. There are different forms also. These three types of forms are decimal form. Any integer that is beginning with the digits 1 to 9 is a decimal form. Now octal form, an integer beginning with 0 and O is a octal form. And hexadecimal form, an integer beginning with 0 and X, 0 followed by letter X. And you should also remember that in digital representation, data representation in class 11, we have seen capital A to F is also valid for hexadecimal. In place of 10 we will write A, place of 11 we will write B, and for 15 F, and so on. Now the next numeric type is floating point literals. These are also known as real literals, represents real numbers with a decimal dividing the integer and fractional part. Okay, so one decimal is there, the integral part is on the left side of this decimal, and the fractional part is on the right side of the decimal. These are written in fractional and exponential form. Here this is in fractional form, and exponential form means e raised to the power 2. This is also correct. Now the next type is complex number literals. Literals that are in the form of a plus bj, where a and b are floats and j represents the imaginary number, which is root over minus 1. So a is the real part, b is the imaginary part. This complex number type is not present in C++, C++ programming language. This thing is only introduced in Python. So it is very much helpful to work with complex numbers in Python. Now the next type is Boolean literals. A Boolean literal can have values as true or false. The Boolean literals, a Boolean literal can have values as true or false. We have seen this true and false are keywords. So these are specially used for true and false. We will be using these literals shortly in our program, then it will be clear. Next is special literal, which is none. None is a literal used to indicate absence of value. All these three, true, false and none, are keywords. Then the next type is operators. Next type of token is operators. These are tokens that trigger some action or computation where applied on variables in an expression. We'll see one by one here types of arithmetic operators. Some operators are there like arithmetic, bitwise, shift, then identity, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators and membership operators. One by one we can see. Now first of all is arithmetic operator. We have seen these operators in class 11 also. Arithmetic operator, first of all plus, then minus, asterisk for multiplication, then for backslash for division, this is forward slash for division, then modulus for remainder, then asterisk for power, double asterisk, and double slash for division. Again, this will give you the question part. Then bitwise operators are caret, ampersand, and bitwise OR operator. Then shift operators, left shift operators and right shift operators. Identity operators are is and is not. Then relational operators are less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, equals to, and not equals to. Then logical operators are and, or. Okay. Then next is assignment operators, equals to operator. Then membership operator is in and not in. One more operator is given in your book, that is arithmetic assignment operator. This we will discuss here. Suppose we have a expression like this, a is equal to a plus 1. Now this can be written in shortcut. How? If we want to remove this identifier, because it is repeated on the left hand side and right hand side, this plus sign will go here. Means I can write it like this, a plus equals to 1. Okay, so here you can see the arithmetic operators that we have seen here, arithmetic operators and the assignment operator come along. Similarly, if I am having a expression like a equals to a by 2, this can be written as a slash equals to 2. Similarly, if I am having written a star star b, this can be written as a star star equals to 2. Okay, I hope this is clear. So please practice all these, and we will be continuing with the next topic after tokens. Thank you.